Hello. Just a sec.
You're gonna need a bit of a retro shark. I already installed new launcher.
Here, I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, I'm back.
I can attest, Derek, that the Ratchet and Clank trophy is in fact a 2 out of 10 trophy. I did it very...
I'll go back. Sorry, you quit. Squads or squad duos or logic.
It doesn't matter. What's the logic there? Speaking of, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, so I had bug snacks in my cart for like months, so I decided to go ahead and buy it.
How is it?
It just, I'm not that far. I've done a couple things. This is also a 2 out of 10 Platinum trophy. So, no, you could get through Ratchet and Clank very quickly. It's really fun. And it's pretty. You get to the point where it's like you start using all these weapons and like these fungus, these mushrooms shooting at things, and you can get spookier shooting at things.
I watch random like compilation videos or just like, you know, like just random list videos of like top 10 achievements in games that are nearly impossible, like impossibly unfair. And one of them is Call of Duty World at War Veteran Difficulty. I have that platinum trophy. I did that. It's on the list of like, this is like impossible. It's like, this is impossibly broken. And I'm like, well, I did that.
Like that one that at the time we got, but I think it was patched to make it easier, but we had to
Yeah, we did it together.
That was like one of my greatest achievements there.
Doing the drinking game in Watch Dogs.
Yeah. I don't know how we got it. It didn't take us that long, did it?
No.
I'm not super great at games and stuff, but it wasn't an easy day.
Oh, see,
You're supposed to be up by yourself.
yeah, see, that's the thing. That was, yeah. Even me and you doing it, that wasn't easy to coordinate that. So yeah, I don't know how your people were doing that, but they did.
Oh, did you just run on through like, no big deal, no biggie.
Okay, you're gonna win.
No biggie, I'm just gonna freaking win, Toes. What a way to start out the game. Cause I walked right on through, you see me?
I made it through. I made it through. Man, first place finished crazy.
What do you mean?
They're so far ahead of us. They must have all finished bam, 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 bam. That must have been all been them.
Oh. See, I got first overall. Oh no, you have a loser. I was falling. Oh,
Man, they must have like. I saw that because me and you finished. We had like 112, and they already had over 200. They had a 217. So you and I finished. I wasn't that far behind you.
No.
And they were already well over. Like, I mean, they all finished. They all finished right there.
Oh, who got this loser? Derek, a loser. No offense.
Casper, what do you? I swear to God, if you sit down in front of me, I'm throwing you, dude.
This guy didn't even finish, and this is one of the easiest levels.
Dude. As soon as I started getting my PS4 set up, I went to turn it on, I got my controller plugged in, whatever. As soon as I did that, Pat Casper comes down right in front of me and starts ram me out. I'm like, dude, no way. You've been gone for hours. Dude, no. Dude, I played with you. I know I was gone all day. I played with you while I was riding my bike. That's extremely uncomfortable for me to do that. You have no idea. You have no idea how it is to, like...
For some reason, there was a bunch of birds on my balcony yesterday, but it was too cold to have the doors open. And all of a sudden, I heard a big bang. Twix tried to attack the birds, but hit the glass like a loser. I don't know. She might have got a concussion, but I think she's still alive. So it got up to like 80 today, but it's just cool off. It's go on tomorrow.
Speaking of concussions and glass, one time we were at work, and a girl looked out the window. This is at the old building when we were in the lab. She looked out the window, and her bird just like flew and crashed into one of the office windows. And was just laying there, and like, she's like, "Oh man, he's not doing good." I was like, birds break their necks. Like they're not. It's really easy for a bird to like crash into something and break their neck. She went out, picked the bird up. He woke up, and she was holding him for a while, and then he flew away. It's like he just like knocked himself out. I was like, that was amazing. I think she picked it up on her foot. I think she kind of got him on her foot, woke him up, and he stood up on her foot, was looking around and stuff like that, and then he flew away.
Oh, that was dumb. There's too many times I've walked into a door or glass. Embarrassingly large numbers.
Oh no, that was a...
Oh no, it's a fan.
Because I fell with less. I fell at the fan.
Yeah, so Bugsnat, so far I have said a couple of, I don't know, I have a quirky guide, but there's this one thing that, like, you click on it, it has, like, it blurred out, like, spoilers, so I don't want to see the spoilers.
Yeah. There's something. There's something. There's some twist. I know there. I know there is.
Well, so I'm on some island. I'm a journalist, and the main person is missing. The person that invited me to do the story on the Bugsnat is missing.
Casper met.
Rancher. He got eliminated.
Uh-huh.
It's because that guy sucked. teammates sucked.
Casper met Bucky. They did.
You okay with?
They did not get along.
He was like close to the glass.
Well, because Casper was on the back porch, it was locked on the back porch, and Bucky came up and was out there by the grill, and they were looking at each other, and they were being quiet, and then all of a sudden, Bucky goes, and then Casper is like, "Whoa!" and just making all this noise, and we brought Casper in the house, and he was still going, "Whoa!" Bucky didn't seem like he cared much.
Don't get along. Yeah, I feel like cats just, that's like their nature, is just to hate each other, but they have to get used to each other or something.
He Casper likes it at Mom's house. He has fun.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of have a headache tonight, so I'll pay for it, but tired. I'm gonna work this morning.
I had to go bowling.
Oh yeah, Mom sent me some of the slowest bumper car video ever. Are you streaming right now?
Yes. You were gonna say something bad.
No, was the party fun?
It was okay. Maybe the most interesting thing was I went to GNC, and the guy was like, "Can I help you find anything?" I was like, "No, I'm just looking." And I was like, "I actually work where we make a lot of this stuff over here." He's like, "Oh yeah, in Spring Hill?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He knew what I was talking about. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I took a nap today, but there was a child for the first 30 minutes of it. And I just gave out for a second, and then when I went back to try to actually take a nap, I dreamed about the screaming child, so...
Okay, what you just said is like the most insane thing I've ever heard. Oh, no, another thing was cool. I don't know, I did have kind of fun today because cool stuff happened. Because Dad and Maria showed up, they're like, "Hey," I showed Dad the bowling ball. And I was like, "You remember this?"
We can't, oh my gosh, we can't start.
Why? What?
Everybody's falling off. There's too many of us. We can't get past the first tilt. I'm not even making this up. Okay. Finally. The very first one, there's too many people trying to jump on it. It would go vertical and everybody would fall off. And then everybody would run and try to jump on it again and it would go too much vertical and everybody would fall off. It took us there was a bunch of us. There was 15 of us. Isn't that the most, crap you've ever heard?
Uh-huh. I've never heard of such ass tree.
I know. You watch any good horror movies that...
No.
You didn't watch Midnight House, so we could talk about how dumb it was.
Midnight? The Night House?
I don't know if I want to tell you to watch it, because I don't want to be responsible for losing 2 hours of your life.
But anyway, I showed Dad my bowling ball.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "You remember this?" He's like, "No, what is it?" I was like, "This is your dad's ball." He didn't remember. I don't think he remembered that I had that bowling ball. It has my initials on it, but it was Dick Klein. So he had my initials. But he had those initials engraved on it. So I have a bowling ball with my initials on it. My first two frames were strikes. I got to a really good start, and then I didn't really. And then I did go up there talking to Mom. I was like, "Okay, normally when I throw it, it cuts that way, but lately when I'm throwing it today, I feel like it's cutting that way. So I need to throw this right about here." And I got a strike. I was like, "Okay, good," because I would have looked really stupid if that didn't work. Oh, but I want all the gold bolts.
You can, because when I got it, it adds like little extra things to your game. And so I selected the option, like you can make your head big, you can make your head small, you can change like the skin on your hammer and stuff.
Okay.
So when I killed enemies, confetti just shot everywhere. I really liked that one.
Okay, who's watching? It's usually Mom, but like she hasn't said anything. She says it's me, or just if say me or something like that. 'Cause I have a viewer. I can see I have a viewer, but she's never like me. It's me. Because I told some of my friends about it, so I don't know if it's them or not.
Do you have friends?
Yes.
I got friends and mine.
Mom said me. Casper, I swear to God. I swear. I'm not.
Did Mom see me win?
Mom said doing dishes. Did you see Rebecca win?
I won the very first thing. Oh, that's bullcrappery. Oh no! Okay. Getting hit all around like a pinball.
Oh, there were fans there. Crap, I didn't see the fans. I was wondering, I was like moving it.
Derek, you don't have fans. Well, no, Derek, do you have friends? Is it low places or lonely places?
Low places.
It could be both, though.
Take me down to the oasis.
I got friends. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play Bug Snacks because it's been so long since I played the other games and they're a little bit bigger. I wanted to have an easy game. I feel like it's a casual game you can just pick up.
Well, I think all those games are typically pretty easy games. They just take a while. Except for Kana.
Was Kana supposed to be really hard?
Kana's harder than like what people were expecting. Well, they said it's spiked. They said some boss fights are surprisingly challenging.
And also, it's like the controls are kind of weird. It's like R2 and L2 are like swings. I think that's how you hit. I haven't watched any other. I watched a really bad. Oh, I did watch a bad movie. I don't know if it was really a horror. It was so stupid because it's like the guy was an idiot. So it's like it was on Amazon Prime. It was Anna. So it had I think the name of the movie was Anna. It had the girl from the first season of American Horror Story, Violet.
Tysa Farmiga.
Yeah, she was the main girl, and she was Anna. And it was weird. First of all, I should have stopped watching in the first 10 to 15 minutes when I realized how dumb it was, like, so they had to, like, establish it's, like, the lore kind of thing, like, the guys, like, memory, whatever, so you can look into people's memories, like, video type thing, and there's, like, this whole thing, the crime, testimony, all this bull crap. This is stupid, whatever. And I kept watching. And it's like, so Anna's like, she's gotta figure out if she's kind of a psychopath or what's going on with her, and all this stupid stuff. And it's like, there was this one clue that just basically, actually, there's many red flags you should have seen. You should see it. And I'm like, how can you not? Are you ever gonna watch it?
I don't know.
Okay, no. I kind kind of spoiled it without spoiling it, but you would see the clues too. You know, like the whole thing is like, is Anna really crazy or is she innocent kind of thing? There's so many clues that tell you which way it goes. It's dumb. She does a good job at playing like she's crazy, she whatever. The guy is. Obviously better than it was. But like I said, I really should stop watching in the first 15 minutes because I saw it was just. It's like when you have to set up. You kind of have to set up the way they did. It was just like it's not worth it. Like don't. Oh my gosh. That sucks.
I told you about that movie, The Shed, right? Oh my god. I told you, like, I started watching it, I got like 4 minutes in, I just like shut it off. I was like, this is so horrendously corny. No, oh.
You idiot.
I turned off.
Somebody beat us because these guys are morons.
But then I started watching it again. Okay, well, let me see. I started watching, if I watch for like 2 more seconds, it's like, it's a dream sequence. All the corny stuff is him having like a really like super innocent sort of like corny dream. And then it turns dark like a second later, and the rest of the movie's pretty dark.
Yeah, if Mom wasn't on here watching, because I'm going to give her the Fear Street books when I'm done reading it, I would tell you what the Fear Street stories have been so far, but alas, Mother is on, and I don't want to spoil them for her. The second book, I was reading it, I guess I could tell you the premise, because it doesn't really, I won't say the ending, but, like, the second one is, like, this guy, one of the friends, like, dies mysteriously in the forest, like, it's, I don't know, and they're going through, and I'm like, that guy totally, why all that, I'm just gonna stop, because I can't spoil, I don't know, I'm but, like, that guy totally did it, and that was correct, but it was, like, in the first chapter, the first, like, I'm like, that person did it, so I was kind of right, but kind of incorrect at the same time. I'm not going to explain what that means. I won't explain what that means.
Well, they said, like, not everything has to be, like, a twist or something not everything has to be like, oh, well, I saw that coming. Like, that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's done well. I mean, that's not, like, objectively, like, a poor, like, oh, I see that twist coming from a mile away. Or anything, or like it's the most obvious thing. It can still be done well.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of there was another twist, there was no way you could guess from that early, but I can't explain it without giving it away, but so I was right but I was wrong. I guessed the first part of it, I didn't guess the whole thing. It was impossible to guess the whole thing.
Oh my god, this guy's not gonna make it. We're fault.
This guy sucks.
No, he will not.
If Mom's listening, they're definitely, we have a pool. We have a pool. Did Mom hear that?
Mom, we have a pool.
They're making a pool. That is a pool that they were building, and this guy sucks. So this is like worse than Tracy's first time. Oh my gosh. Is there anybody else? This is giving me my head. This is
a pool.
Worse.
Yes, a pool. Mom says a pool? Cool.
It's a small pool for the size of our apartment complex, and with the amount of children, I will probably never go. Unless it's in the middle of a school day. Well,
my pool over here. If I want to go swimming, hope you enjoy your 4x4 section of the pool. Cause that's all you get.
I totally did not get first place, but I'll take it. I had a gold for that. I didn't get first. I got second place. first place person. I don't know. It's make up for when I know I've gotten first and it didn't get me first. Yeah, it's not a very big pool, but I can go once school starts back up. Once they open the pool, first of all I have to open the pool. When the pool's open, and then when school starts back, I can go like on my day off during the week. There shouldn't be that many people there. Just the baby children, which they can't splash, but they can poop in the pool. Oh, don't you! I was about to say, you frickin' loser. Stay away from me. Hey, Derek.
I see you. We're up here pretty high.
Yeah.
Right now. I won't cannibalize you.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna go over here and then I'm
going to I go down all the way to the purple because I was out of space.
Well, there's not that much, honestly. Okay. Oh no! Oh! I'm out of the bottom.
Oh crap!
Everybody else over here. Oh frick! Derek, I think it's just you. Go, Derek, go! Go!
That was
Derek,
too many. There were too many people on the bottom. Everybody, yeah, that's what it seems like. Cause everybody was down there. So, yeah, I fell where like four or five other people fell where I was, and so they just all took out all the hexagons. And
Yeah. Somebody like fell on top of me, and then I tried to run to find other places, but please pile. Oh man, we lost there. We lost to Justin Bieber.
I know, I see that.
I wonder if that's really Justin Bieber. You'll never know.
What? I don't know. I feel like it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. But also now they're doing double stuff. But weren't they doing double stuff like... There's been weeks and weeks and weeks without double.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so happy. That's my first platinum trophy I've gotten in a long time, Derek.
I need to get more platinum trophies, man.
Do you play Ratchet and Clank? It's on your PS5. It's not like you have to play the PS4 version.
There is no PS4 version.
I know, that's what I mean. It's not like you have to worry about that. Play double trophies. It's not a long game. Says you can probably beat it quicker than I did. Not that good. Even me, not that good. Like, once I got used to the controls and, like, got used to using different weapons and everything, like... So you can't, there's no missable trophies technically. There's one, so you have to hit all the crystals on... There's two worlds that are crystals that, like, you hit them and it brings you, like, an anti-adventure type thing, and you go back and forth throughout the world. You have to hit all the crystals, but, so there is one that was initially missable. You can grind on the rails. There's one place you can't get back to. The only place you can't get back to. But they've made it so you only need to hit 29 out of the 30 crystals. So it makes a trophy. And if you don't hit that one, it doesn't matter. So I would have missed it otherwise. So other than that, when you beat the game, you do have to play like the first 10 minutes of like challenge mode so you can get these two weapons. You can buy all the weapons. play through the first like cinematic scenes, and you can get it in like 10 minutes.
My question is, when are you gonna platinum Red Dead Redemption 2?
Where I can say this with some pretty, I'm like 100% sure I will die before I get that done.
That game takes like 400 hours, I think.
I'm gonna, I need to play Grand Theft Auto online with my arms dealer, but so we can play that.
See, I'm actually not sure if I picked that or that was something they added later.
Yeah. Well, you might have to, would yours carry over? Like, is the online just online, or is it like a PS5 online, or it doesn't really matter?
I think it'll carry over. Like,
games, but you play it on the PS4 or the PS5.
Yeah, if they didn't carry that over, I think there'd be a lot of backlash if that was like a new character. Because my character's like I think they're like level 120. I mean, I had like tons and tons of money.
So you could buy me a tank?
Probably. I'm not sure if I have tons of money. I know I'm level like 120.
Remember the OG Grand Theft Auto with this code? There's that one time you're like, this tank code isn't working, and then you put down that street.
Like, so many tanks would be on the map that it stopped spawning cars. Like it couldn't register. Well, that middle one's going.
You know what else is going? Your mouth. Oh god, it is. It's probably easier to go around the side,
But it was just funny because we didn't tank out so many times, we didn't see all the tanks because it was like they would only spawn like once every like 4 or 5 times we used the code, but they were spawning somewhere else on the map. So you go outside, and I don't see any cars, but then like every block there's a tank.
Or, did you legitimately get an FBI car before, and that was like the most difficult thing, because those FBI agents would just like drive so reckless. Like drive so reckless.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to make it spawn right by one of your garages.
That was just so funny. The FBI drive, because like the way they drive is just like kamikaze. Like you're driving a tank, and there's like ramming head on as hard as they can into it, exploding.
That one was he said that was like the old. That was run over the pimps and the old ladies because they had the most money. That's what Grand Theft Auto taught me, Derek. One, in a all purple suit, is a tank. 2, you're gonna rob somebody, rob the old ladies with the grocery bags. Oh. 3, make it into your garage and hide, the cops can't find you. 4, you can't swim. I know they fixed that later. I did like it with the motorcycles and stuff. Those were more fun. You sing, can't I, Derek?
You sing beautiful.
Thank you. I think I got like two things you can play at a time. I'm not even lying.
I've got a lot more than that, but how is someone already qualified?
Derek, it's qualified. In the closet, that's my stuff, yeah, if I love it, please don't touch, I know you're that's how fine, and then
I don't think we're gonna make it.
Derek, don't you say that. In the closet, that's my stuff, yeah, if I, oh, I guess wrong.
We were barely halfway to qualify.
So close.
Man, we were I mean, I'm just saying this as a collective thing. We were garbage at that.
No, I was doing real bad. I'm not good at that one just in general, though. Okay, can you talk more about our horror movie?
What? I don't know, Rebecca.
Yeah, you gotta make a horror movie.
I don't know. Having goals is pathetic.
It's hard. It's hard to want to do anything. Did you watch any other bad movies? Did you answer me?
No, I haven't watched anything else. What? Last one I watched was Hell House.
That was a pretty good one, right?
Uh-huh.
They lead you in the correct direction.
Yes.
A lesser known horror movie that was actually pretty good.
They say like found footage stuff. There's a somewhat advantage to the found footage stuff because you don't have to go crazy special effects or anything like that, and you can make like Paranormal Activity did that. You make like a picture being crooked on the wall or like the wind blowing or a door slamming scary because every person can like relate to that. Like I could look at a door and watch a door slam. And, okay, if I slam the door, it's not scary. If that door slams on its own, that's horrifying. Even, like, upstairs in the wind, like, I'll be down here, and, like, I'll hear when the doors slam upstairs. It's the wind, but it still scares me when it does it. But it's just, like, the idea that, like... Casper, shut up. He's not, he's...
Yeah, it's all just... stuff you own in the box that will last.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's your stuff. Yes, if I love it, please don't touch.
Casper, you're laying there. I tell you to shut up, and you get up and start going all crazy. I'm like, no. Mom, isn't Casper a good kitty?
Not as good as Rory. Rory's such a weird cat. Like, they were both outside on the balcony. They were both fine. I walk out there, I shut us all out there. So I'm out there with them. Rory's like panicking, like scratching at the glass. He's like, he's just like chilling out there with me. She's freaking fine until she couldn't get back in. Did I tell you the one night I had it open? And somebody rang my doorbell. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And I panicked for a second, so I shut the door and like acted like I wasn't home. And I looked out and it was just a delivery driver. Like somebody ordered pizza, but they were going to go to the chill on place. It was actually like a young girl, so I was going to have to, I would have answered the phone and had to go on stand, but I didn't know this was and then I hear like cleaning and scratching, and I look and Rory accidentally got to the back. Like a freaking baby. Actually, she would have been locked up there all night if she didn't do that, because I would have been. Allowed.
Earwax. Oh.
Get stuck with like the worst people in this game. You know, you're playing a pretty.
I'm glad you got that said at last. Earwax, I'm glad you got that. Have you seen the new one yet?
No, that's so hardly
I think that might be the end of that. I think it flopped. I think there were supposed to be like 6. I think it's like I think it's gonna like be a massive loss.
Why? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't think it's like I think it's way below projections on how much it's gonna like. I think it's gonna end up being a financial loss.
What do you think of the Johnny Depp and her fiasco?
I don't know.
See all the jokes because she like. It sounds like they were both like horrible in their own ways.
But
I think so far that he's only done his side of it, so I don't know what her side of it is. But she doesn't look it.
yeah, because well, her thing too is that I think she said something about like I think she testified, or one of the things she said, she goes, yeah, he hit me, so I had to use this cover up. And that makeup company came out and said, you liar, that cover up, we didn't make that cover up until the year after you say you were abused. The makeup company came out and said, no, you're lying. the makeup you said you used did not exist when you said you used it.
Yeah, she's not looking good. It's kind of, the jury's still out on him, I feel like, because I don't think she's taken the stand, but I mean, she seems like very manipulative and just like a terrible person. The jury's still out on Johnny Depp, but...
Well, because that's like, I mean, kind of stuff. I mean, he was having like, he was on like detox meds and stuff, so I mean, he wasn't going through a good spot, so they're gonna try to paint him and like, you see the clips though of him, like, there's the one thing where he was like, they asked him something, I guess he went off on a little bit of a tangent. And they're like, yeah, Mr. Depp, they start talking over him and say, that's not what I asked, well, this and this. He goes, we're trying to respect the court's time here. He goes, yeah, but you can take like 5 minutes to look for evidence, and I can't answer your question. You won't let me talk, but you can take 5 minutes to try to find evidence. The court's laughing at the stuff he's saying. Like, everyone busts out laughing.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
No, I was watching one of our players suck.
Well, that sucked. Yeah, so I can say she's not a good person. I don't know anything about him yet. I don't think he's great, but I think they're both bad. It's just who's worse. I don't think either of them are innocent. Whatever is going on, they seem very toxic, both of them.
But then it's gonna be kind of the thing. Yeah, I don't know, because she already kind of destroyed his career. And you say, oh, well, they were both just in a really, really bad, like, whatever. Like, he didn't beat her, but they're both just really crappy people. But, like, Disney dropped him off Pirates of the Caribbean. They're never gonna hire him again for, like, any more Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Yes, they're gonna make it, no, they are. They're gonna make another one and Johnny Depp's out. And everyone's, like, kind of...
Well, no, it's gonna flop.
Yes, exactly. There's gonna be a female lead. I don't know, I can't remember who it was.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have watched it either way if he was in it.
Mom said, Johnny Depp? Mom, we're talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that whole thing.
Have you heard? She took a dump on his pillow.
Yeah, people are calling her Amber Turd.
I'm sorry. Like, it's hard to... It's just like when you're that famous, it's just like your life is just behind us. Derek, where are you going? It's just like your life is just public darn it all. I'm so useless. I swear I like think I'm doing well, and I'm really not. Off of me! We're teammates, you loser!
It looks like we're doing a lot better in this one than we were the last one.
Well, I can guarantee 100% freaking guarantee it. Oh, I got one! It's not because of me! I'm sorry I suck so bad. Hey guys. I got the golden! You all fuck. I pushed you off the ground. Second, losers. I got a gold one, Derek. I did everything I needed to.
Yes, you did.
You know why? Because I got that gold.
It still said 59. It says 59 on my screen. Did we make it?
Doesn't matter. It said you qualified. Maybe you just didn't jump up. I don't care if you beat the witches.
Last round.
Not last round necessarily. We could do one of those stupid 3 people things. I hope it's. Well, I was gonna say, hope it's fall ball. It can't be fall ball.
Oh crap.
See, Derek, I freaking told you I was loser.
So, okay. Did you see the new Thor trailer? Or teaser?
No. Is it with Thor or is it a female Thor?
It's both. Okay. So yeah. At the end of it, it shows Natalie Portman grab the hammer or whatever, or the hammer flies to her.
Derek, I'm not watching.
The hammer.
100.
The ham.
Watching Natalie Portman.
So the hammer flies to her, and she's got like this helmet on and stuff. So she is like the almighty Jane Foster.
Are you freaking kidding me? I just threw up in my mouth a little.
No, I'm not kidding you. Okay.
Natalie Portman is the worst.
Okay.
It could be a different female. It doesn't have to be her.
Okay. I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna complain about this. Not because it's like I'm not going to sexist thing and not saying, oh, it's not like the female Thor, blah blah blah, whatever. But I am.
Gosh, it's Natalie Portman. It could be somebody else.
I'm complaining about this. No, I'm complaining about this from. I feel it's not the fact that it's a female. I feel like the fact that they're forcing it to be a female.
I'm gonna say I don't care about any of that. It's just because it's not really super important. Like, it needs to not be her.
No, the hammer goes to her. Man, we cannot get that thing over there.
Will somebody just get the yellow out?
We cannot.
No,
Blue, stop!
oh no! Help! 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 Help!
Oh, we're winning now. We got it.
Okay, we got it.
One rolled out of blue into us, and they moved it back, and a tie happened. And I'm like, blue, stop! I knocked one into blue so yellow would lose, but they knocked one back out. So I was like, come on, blue! Like.
You don't know how it works. You
Oh.
don't have to win, you just not lose.
But no, my problem with that is like I'm not sure how they're gonna handle it. But the hammer flies to, like, it shows her at the end, and she's got it. I'm like, okay, Steve Rogers using the hammer was built up for like 10 movies. You built up like 10 movies before Captain America used the hammer. Jane Foster was in two Marvel movies. I'm not counting Endgame because she was in Endgame for like 5 seconds and didn't say anything.
Derek, I do not like Natalie Portman. And because of that, I refuse to watch. I'm not watching. I mean, I know they're losing one viewer. It has nothing to do with feminism.
I think it's gonna bomb. I think it's gonna bomb.
It's because it's Natalie. Nobody likes Natalie Portman. Like, she's not. People don't like her. I don't like her. She's annoying.
Okay.
I got you. I got you. I'm so jealous of your fit that I have.
Okay, because something about her using the hammer. I'm like, okay, you know they're not gonna build this correctly. Captain America, I saw Endgame opening night. When Captain America used the hammer for the first time, that theater went absolutely batshit insane. Everyone lost their minds. I did too, where everyone lost their minds when he finally used the hammer. Think about the 3 people that can use the hammer in Marvel movies. The 3 people that have used the hammer. It was Thor, Vision, and Captain America. Vision. What? No, she didn't like wield it though. She destroyed it.
Yeah, but if she can destroy it, she could have wielded it. She held it in her hand.
No, she blocked his attack. She didn't hold it.
So
she wouldn't be worthy to use the hammer.
she's worthy with evilness.
But Vision, I don't think Vision. Here's the thing. I don't think Vision using the hammer diminishes the fact that Captain America wielded the hammer, because I feel like Vision was made by Ultron, or Ultron was making Vision, and they brought Vision to life using one of the Infinity Stones. Vision was designed to almost be like some sort of like perfect ascendant sort of being. So him using the hammer was just kind of like, okay, that's like a repercussion of that. I don't think that diminished from Captain America using the hammer. I don't like when movies retroactively make prior movies or prior episodes of like or television shows. I don't like when they go back and they make prior episodes or movies mean less. Her using the hammer, if there's not a proper build to it, it's going to diminish the fact that Captain America could use it. I know.
So Jane Foster is not high on people's list of favorites.
Jane Foster in the comics does use the hammer, but I'm not sure how they do it in the comics. I'm not sure if there's a proper build to it. I'm not sure if there's anything like that. Like there's any hints over, they've been building that for years.
Natalie Portman in
No.
the comics? Okay.
But they're doubling down on this because they had the trailer for that movie, that Marvel Avengers game. So far, that Marvel Avengers game, it might have Black Panther, it has Spider-Man, it has Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, who's like the female Hawkeye.
I liked that series.
But they announced the next hero they're adding is going to be Jane Foster, the almighty Jane Foster. And I'm like, you have so many other more interesting characters to add to that. Like,
really, like, it has nothing to do with, I don't care about the female. I care because it's kind of important, and Jane Foster has sucked because it's Natalie Portman, nobody likes her, there's kind of mean. I just think nobody likes her. She's just not she's dull.
But a lot of shows, you finished all of Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, there's this channel.
Because because I said I don't like shows that retroactively make prior things mean less. And that, because you can say subjectively, oh, I didn't like Arya doing that. Why didn't well, objectively, why didn't you like that? I'm like, because they had hinted at a battle, a fight between Jon Snow and the Night King, which never happened. And
my thing was, it was just kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, it was awesome, but then it's like everybody was gone and they built that whole thing. That was the first battle too, where it's like, it didn't make any sense, because it's like, let's focus on all the main characters. They're always surrounded by hundreds of people, but they don't die.
You see Sam on his back stabbing and crying, and he doesn't die. It's like, have him in the crypts. Don't even have him out there. Like Ed, or was it Ed? Ed was like the one friend that was like leading the night watch when Jon Snow was away. He gets killed helping Sam. That makes it more deadly because he gets like obliterated out there. He dies, but then Sam doesn't. So like, why is Sam even out there? Like,
it's just like once they got away from the book, that was what was kind of made good. When everybody was, it was like kind of realistic. Like everybody was fair game if you didn't know who was gonna die.
but just I mean, I'm trying to say that, like, once again, not because it's a female thing, but I'm trying to go from like more of a structural standpoint. I was like, it's setups and payoffs. Things in, well, I can't remember who it was. If it was Hitchcock. Hitchcock said something about like, if there's a scene in a movie and you zoom in on a gun on the wall, there's a gun on the wall, and you zoom in on that, at some point in the movie, that gun has to be fired. It's a setup and a payoff. And that's the thing. You had that whole episode of Hard Home, which looking back on it, because it didn't mean anything, the episode was kind of meaningless and pointless. But I thought one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones was Hard Home. The episode where Jon Snow goes to the north to try to rally the people to leave with them, because the dead are coming and they won't listen. But then that's the first time you see the Night King and the undead army, and they wipe out all the wildlings. That episode is freaking awesome, but a lot of that has to do with like just the little stuff you see when Jon Snow kills that White Walker. And it zooms in on the Night King, and you see the Night King on that mountain looking right at Jon Snow. And then when they get on the boat to leave, they're going out there, and the Night King walks out on the dock, and he's looking right at Jon Snow. And he raises his hands, and the army rises. But the Night King is looking right at Jon Snow. Like he knows, like that's his, like he knows, like that's the one I got to worry about. That one right there, that's all this, the bringer of light, Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, all this stuff. Like that's what they, and that never happens. None of that matters.
What's even worse, Mom's seen it too, right?
She's seen some of it, and I'm not sure if she would get past the sex scenes in the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh my gosh, sure.
Because she couldn't get past the sex scenes in the last season, which is like nothing.
Yeah, it was very mild. No, like what's even worse than that is Jon Snow being a Targaryen with nothing.
That's the thing. Like, you had that big reveal of him finally finding out, like, when he finally, like, reveals who he is, like, well, how'd that come into anything?
It didn't.
Like,
and the fact that Arya and Sansa will pull that off camera.
well, they said that, I heard someone say that, they said, like, talking about reviewing that show, and they said, do you remember how it used to skip the battles and show the dialogue? And the last stuff the last season they would skip the dialogue and show the battles. And you know what? Yeah, stuff like that. Like I want to see, yeah, like the reaction. I want to see like Jon tell Sansa that and how she reacts. And what the heck did they do to Jaime? Like. Jaime had this really cool like build to him being like this hero, misunderstood. They called him Kingslayer as like a derogatory term because he like defied the king and killed the king. But then you have all this build to him like no, he actually is a noble, good person. He just happens to love someone that's like evil, but it's like his sister, and he's always loved. So you kind of almost feel like you know like. But then, what did you do with that? One of the last things you said, he goes, I don't care about the women and children, I only care about us, or something like that. And it's like, this is not like, what happened to that character arc? Like, what happened to, like, what did you do to Jaime? Like, Jaime had what?
So many unforgivable things. And I've said this so many times, like, I don't have an issue with the Mad Queen thing. I have an issue with them deciding all of a sudden, like, we're just gonna do it right now. So the build-up was terrible.
That's what they said.
Not enough build-up. Like I don't have any problem with her going crazy, but they didn't.
No, like, that's what I think. I think everybody agrees on that. Everybody agrees that they didn't like.
They didn't set that up good.
Because you know what? In that scene, right before she does that, she's looking at the keep, the red keep, and she has that look on her face. And I was like, you know what? She's gonna nuke Cersei and the throne, and that's gonna be it. What does she do? She kills all the innocent people, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like,
yeah, that's not. She didn't have enough build up to that. Like, she hadn't done enough evil things.
I did like. You know what? And one thing I did like about that was I did like Grey Worm's reaction and the Unsullied's reaction, because she starts doing that and they immediately start just killing all the people who have surrendered. Because like it shows like his loyalty to her, like he's like, no, okay, she's mad, I'm with her. And like I don't like.
They just failed on. They have such a good thing going. They could have made so much more money, but now it's just like Game of Thrones was epic for such a long time, and because of the way it ended, people just forgot about it.
Everyone.
It doesn't matter how good it was because of how it ended.
I've seen a lot of people break it down too, and they said that like the Army of the Dead should have been the final battle. They should have won at Winterfell and forced people to retreat. Because like Cersei being the final villain, like you just killed off like, and you know that's the thing too is like you never understand here's the thing about this. I think Bran is the villain. I think Bran is the villain of Game of Thrones.
You weren't close enough to me to grab that tail, you jerk. There's no way I would have grabbed that tail. These people always get the tails. Like, I was closer to you. Haha, you loser. I was closer to that guy. I was like, you didn't grab his tail.
Oh no, I fell down. No!
Oh god. This is chaos. This is chaos. This is chaos level. No!
I had a tail for a long time, but okay. Okay. I feel like they lacked any ability to do this, and the way they handled this was poor. Like, I could see George R.R. Martin. Now, a lot of people believe, and I'm kind of in that ballpark too, he's never going to finish the books. He kind of knows how it's supposed to end, but he's never going to actually fill in all the gaps. I think Bran, in the books, I might be wrong. I feel like that show... I feel like that's something because I think he told them how it was going to end. So they kind of, okay, that's how it's supposed to end it. So I think Bran is going to end up being king. However, I think Bran is the villain of the story. I think the Night King trying to kill Bran. Did I talk about this? How they could, because, oh yeah, like, oh yeah, Bran, like he's just this little crippled boy. We're gonna make him the king, or whatever. Because he joined to the north and this and this. He's got some like, you know what, first of all, justification for making him king just because he's got the most interesting story is stupid as all hell. But anyways, Bran is. They said what happens if he can't have children. What happens after that? He goes, oh, we'll vote another one. The last three-eyed raven lived for thousands of years. Bran is going to live for thousands of years. All these people that made that agreement say, oh yeah, we'll vote for another one, are going to be dead by the time Bran looks for any kind of successor. They're going to be dead. They're not going to know this agreement. How are we doing so good?
I don't know, Derek. We are freaking destroying this game. And we don't really. Like, we're winning by like 40%. Like, it's 87 to 46 is the next highest.
Well, they're all fighting over each other, I think, at this point, because we're so far ahead. They're not going to mess with us, but... Holy crap. But, so Bran's gonna live for like 1,000 years. Okay? Yeah, he can see everything. He can warg into anything. How does that season end? He's wondering where Drogon is. Why does he want to know where Drogon is? Because he can warg into Drogon. If anybody plots to overthrow him, he can nuke them with Drogon. Like, he's like a surveillance state. He's like this endless, it's like that could be like all a metaphor or whatever for like, you know, the dangers of like an all-knowing surveillance state. And that's the thing, it's like, anyone else not scared about this? I was like, they could have done this really, really, really interesting. They could have done everything else the same, let him be king. But they should have had, start the battle at Winterfell, have everything's going on in Winterfell, and you see the Night King makes it to Bran, and the Night King kills Bran, and as soon as he kills Bran, all the undead stop, and they walk away. They leave. That's all they want. And then cut it away and show this is all Bran's vision. Like, Bran knows what this will happen if he dies. But so all this setup is him trying to preserve himself.
Stop what you're doing. Just throw it, you idiot. Go, Derek, go. I got him. Okay, I slowed one of them down, Derek. You gotta go.
Oh, man.
Go, Derek. Yes. Yes, queen. Okay, our team's pretty good. Almost to the point that I don't care if this is even spoilers. Here we go, Dick. Court shot.
But no, show the scene where you see like Bran get killed and the Night King just like drops everything and walks away. But then cut back and show that Bran has his hand, like, you think it's the actual battle. You think the battle's actually happening. But stuff's happening really fast. Like they're losing this and losing this. It's going back kind of quickly. And then have like, you see Bran get killed and the army just stops and leaves. Like that's all they wanted to do was kill Bran. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about this domination of the world. All they want to do is kill Bran. And then have it cut up, but then it zooms out and you see Bran has his hand on the tree. And this is a vision that he's seeing. So he knows if he dies, he will save everybody. And then have the whole episode play out and he survives. Or he tells somebody something and it changes what happens and he ends up surviving. But then the whole rest of like the series, you watching that, you're like, wait, what's up? Something's wrong with Bran. What is it? And then it goes to the end of the episode, the last episode, when Tyrion does that, when he makes, we make Bran the king. And you in your head are saying, no, Bran's a bad choice. But everything else plays out the same. But you as the audience would be like, no, they made a mistake. I feel like that would have helped that last season so much. Just doing that. Because you'd be like, wait, no, something's wrong. And nobody knows. Because Bran's the only one that knows that, like, what's going, like something, you don't know the Night King's purpose, but you question everything all of a sudden. You're like, wait, Bran's not the good guy. The Night King's might not have been the bad guy. Why was Night King trying to kill Bran? I don't know. I think that right there would have would have fixed. I don't know. That would have helped. I don't know. The end of the season would have been a lot more. There's like that one question that would have haunt people. Like, wait, what's actually happening? What just happened?
Your face. I just can't wait until I see like the twist to Bug Snacks is.
I just think that would, I don't know, that was my idea for this, like, one thing they could have done in Game of Thrones. They could have added one scene in there, and everything else kept the same. I feel like that would have made the ending a lot, I don't know, it made the ending a lot better, I thought. Other problems have still persisted, but I feel like the audience, I feel like that would have had an effect on the audience much more than what happened. I feel like, I think Bran will be, and I think that's the plan, to make Bran the king in the books. But I think it's going to be set up much better, and I feel like they completely missed the point on that.
They're like, oh, people like battles. Let's not kill off favorite characters. The quickest way we can end this, even though we were getting lots of money.
Yo,
Because who made that extra time?
No, I assume it went something like this. They're in a meeting, and George R. R. Martin's like, okay, guys, see, you know, Bran becomes king, but you gotta make sure you build it up right. Like, you gotta do the Night King like this, and actually, you gotta make it seem like, you gotta make it Bran, you're really subtle here, you gotta make Bran look like there's questions about Bran. You don't know his true motivations. And D&D was like, got it, Georgie baby. Bran's king. And they put on their sunglasses and start to leave the room. And George R. R. Martin's like, no, you're not listening to me. Bran has to be king, but you gotta make sure you do this and this. Like, got it, Bran's king. And the door closes. Like, they're like, no! That's why I assume it's like what happened. Like, verbatim, that's probably what happened. Got it, Georgie baby. You know,
You can't be happy with how it ended.
They asked him, they were like, is that how the books are going to end? I think that...
He probably can't publicly say what he really wants to say.
Right.
He probably signed something.
Yeah, a lot of people have NDAs and stuff like that. Because there was stuff about, like, Justice League after that came out. I think years later, like, Gal Gadot said that... There was this thing, shoot, his name's slipping my mind right now. The guy that did the Avengers and stuff. He was the one that he was the one that came in to help direct and finish Justice League. But Gal Gadot came out and said that he was terrible and abusive and all this other stuff. And then Jason Momoa came out and backed her up and said, yeah, that guy sucked to work for and all this. And then like it might have been because after the NDA or something came out, something was rough, and they could bad talk the movie. They were allowed to say whatever they wanted to about the movie, but then they ended up just bashing him. But like, someone asked him, was that how you planned the books to end? Is that how you imagined it? And his answer, this is why I think Bran's gonna be king. Because he said, well, yes and no, and yes and no, and yes and no. So, I think they hit some of the points, but that answer to me makes it seem like maybe they didn't. Yeah, they got like the actual, like, okay, this happens, okay, but then it's like, yeah, it's about like context. Crap, oh crap, I did bad there.
Derek, run straight at that one.
That leads me to believe that just like...
That's like the one show that just completely went from like epic to everybody forgot it was even ever once good just because of how it ended. I don't know of anybody that was like, that was a good ending.
Well, we started talking about this at work. It's hard to make a good ending to a show. And I was like, you know, like, how many shows do you know that have like a good ending? And I was like, I said Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman, and Malcolm in the Middle. Were my answers for like what shows had like a really satisfactory finale.
You gotta almost, with the shows, it's gotta be like, you gotta not be money. You gotta be into the story. You can't be about the money, because if we drag on a show for too long, like, it's gonna get bad.
Well,
you gotta almost just end it when, you gotta end it on a high, it's really hard. It's like NFL or professional athletes. It's really hard for them to end on a high. And then they play them to their bottom.
But like, I was like, man, BoJack. That's the thing. BoJack ended on a high note, and it was rushed because I think they were gonna have like 1 or 2 more seasons, and they said nope. We're giving.
What are those rhinos doing?
Oh, they're all beating that one guy. There was one guy over there. They were all after. I've never seen that. That was funny. I don't think they knocked them off, but they were all after that one guy. But
Did you ever watch 60 Under?
No.
Oh, that's on HBO. That's supposed to have one of like the best. I watched it. That's supposed to have like one of the best finales.
What's funny is because like, how much of BoJack did you watch?
I don't remember, Derek.
Because it's famous because The Sopranos is one of the highest reviewed shows of all time or whatever. Considered by many to be one of the best shows ever made. Casper, I swear to God. But the ending, I think they made fun of it in Family Guy, and they made fun of it because like I guess it just ends them having dinner, like ends like in mid-sentence. That's the finale. Like the final scene of Sopranos just ends like mid-sentence and just bam, it's over. I think everybody's kind of like, what? There's kind of a really abrupt ending. They explained why that happens in BoJack Horseman. The guy, I don't know if you saw that episode. They explained why the ending is so abrupt in BoJack Horseman. It's Todd's fault. He's at his girlfriend's house, and she talks about, yeah, you know The Sopranos? And he's like, yeah. She's like, my dad does that. He's like, oh my God, your dad's mafia. And then, like, he's coming home early one night, and she's like, my dad's coming home. And, oh no, he's mafia. She's like, what? No. What? He's like, what? You say he was like The Sopranos? She goes, no, he writes for The Sopranos. He's a writer on the show. He doesn't work for he's not a mafia guy. He's like, oh, okay. It's like, tell your Todd, you gotta like go out my window, repel or whatever. Use this. And she pulls this film reel out of her closet, and it says, Sopranos, last episode, only copy. And he repels out the window and he rips it at the end. He rips it, so it's like he's the reason that Sopranos gets cut off at the end. I thought it was pretty funny because I think it's funny in Family Guy. It's famous that the Sopranos is cut. It ends with like just in the middle of the sentence, like really, really, really abruptly. But then in BoJack they explained that it was Todd's fault.
I'm sorry.
No, ouch! Rebecca! I will lose to keep you alive. Dang it!
I tried so hard. I was like, no, it makes more sense to Derek to go this way, and then I died and you I was trying to get out of your way and sabotage each other. I don't think either of us was gonna win, but that was funny. We're both trying to like sacrifice ourselves for each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me get you off there.
I'm gonna go pee too. So Mom's leaving. Good night, Mom. Do you mind if I spoil the season finale, the series finale for Malcolm in the Middle, to explain why I think that's a good finale?
Oh no, that's fine.
Just because I don't think there's like, you know, like an ongoing like big twist, like necessarily like there is like a thread throughout all the episodes, I guess, that gets resolved in the final episode, but I don't necessarily think that show is like Breaking Bad where like it'll ruin everything that's happened if I explain the ending. Both, and it's weird because both those happen to be Bryan Cranston shows. You want all my shows either have Bryan Cranston or Aaron Paul in it. The shows I think that have the best endings is either Bryan Cranston or Aaron Paul. So Malcolm in the Middle, the final episode, it's a graduation episode. So Malcolm and Reese are graduating. Malcolm and Stevie's his friend in the wheelchair throughout the series. If you've seen Malcolm in the Middle, I'm one of the characters you might recognize. I don't know how much of that you've ever seen. But yeah. But he and Stevie have written some kind of computer program or some kind of like app or something like that. Some kind of program, and a big company comes and they want to buy the rights to that program from them. They hear about it and they want to buy the rights, and it's going to be like millions of dollars or something. It's going to be like, or like a lot of money. But Malcolm and Stevie are both 17, so their parents need to agree for them to sell it. I think the parents need to agree that they can do this. So Stevie's parents say yes, he can do it. Malcolm's parents say no, you can't do that. And so I think it's more towards the beginning of the episode, but it goes through all the stuff that happens during there's this big thing at graduation where Reese pulls some kind of prank or whatever at graduation. I think they all get covered in sewage or something like that. But they're all like, but Malcolm finally, they're all covered in sewage. Oh, he's got some kind of tank of like septic waste, and he's gonna unleash it at graduation, but it explodes in the car while they're going to graduation. So they're all covered in this horrible smelling stuff, and they're spraying each other off with hoses. And Malcolm's just like, everyone's just yelling at each other, and Malcolm finally starts yelling. He's like, "Why have you always held me back in this instance? Why won't you let me just succeed?" And all this other stuff. He's yelling at his parents. Kids. And crap. And he goes, "You guys won't let me do this. You're holding me back, and this and this. Why won't you let me succeed? You won't let me succeed. You've been holding me back my whole life. I don't understand why. Why would you do that to me?" And they said, because, and his mom looks at him. I guess maybe his mom, maybe what she says. But he goes, "Because you can't take the easy way out." And he goes, it has to be a struggle for you. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, she goes, "You are going to be president of the United States. That was always our plan for you. You were going to be president, but you can't have anything come to you easy. You got to work for it. You got to struggle. You got to, like, you're smart enough. You will find your way. You always have. You will find a way to do this. But you have to struggle, because that way, when you finally make it, you won't forget about people like us." And he looks at him, and like it cuts to like the final thing. He's off at college, and he's a janitor at college, but he's living in a janitor's closet. But he's in college, and I thought like that was a really cool ending to that show, because it like acknowledges his parents always knew that he was like better than them. Or that he was going to be some, because he's always like depicted as being smarter than his parents and stuff. His parents are always idiots, always middle, but he's always depicted as being really intelligent. But his parents, it just shows that his parents always knew that he was, and they always had like the absolute highest like expectations of him, and they were doing their best to try to mold him into that, like the whole series. I thought that was a really cool ending to that. It's like they were dumb, they're not as smart as him, but they recognized his potential like the whole time, and they were trying to be like, "No, you have to do this, but you have to do it for people like us, because you'll get there, and then you'll finally know, like you'll be able to help people like us. You'll remember us. You remember where you came from. You can't just have it handed to you." And I thought that was a really we got eliminated.
Oh shoot! Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
But I think we did. I'm not sure if I exited either.
Oh no, we didn't. We didn't get eliminated.
I thought we did too. But I thought that was a really good ending to that. I mean, do you agree? I thought that sounded like a pretty good ending for that. I thought it was a pretty. That stuck with me for a long time. That ending, because kind of it's a common thing of his parents, like they were so stupid and this and this, but no, they recognize their shortcomings and they recognize his strengths, and they do their best to try to help mold him with what they have. There's one episode of that show that shows how it actually shows how he got so intelligent, because when Reese was a baby, they were constantly playing all this classical music around Reese, trying to help stimulate his brain and make him smart. But while they were doing that, the wife was pregnant with Malcolm, so he was hearing it in the womb. So it didn't work on Reese, but Malcolm was born really smart. Like Malcolm was super intelligent, and thought it was trying to help Reese, but it ended up helping Malcolm. Apparently, Futurama had a really good Apparently, Futurama actually had 2 really good finales, because it got canceled, and apparently they had a good finale, and it got brought back, and they had another good finale. So like that was one I hear about that had a good, like that one was one I heard that has a good finale. I need to go watch all that at some point. I think Adventure Time had a good finale, from what I hear.
I don't know if 600 necessarily like best overall finale, but
It's just how to do it, because most finales leave something to be like Lost finale. I'm not gonna bash it, but Lost finale I thought was a good episode of Lost. Terrible finale for Lost. I thought.
I'm gonna say I don't think it necessarily the best finale, but the best. I think it goes down as one of the best like. And honestly, it's on one of those lists of like top endings or something. And I watched the entire show. Just I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was like, it didn't probably get me like it's supposed to get the other people, or just, I don't know. It does kind of, do you know what 6 Feet Under is?
I know that work at that, like, funeral home, or whatever. And I know...
Like the one, it has the guy from Dexter.
Yeah, I knew that he was in it, kind of like he got his start or whatever, people noticed him, then Dexter came after that, I know that.
Yeah, he worked there, he was like, had all the experience,
There's only 2 of us left?
Don't you dare, you little frickin' raccoon. I'm gonna leave anyway. Oh my god. We weren't gonna make it anyway.
Well, I'm just gonna die.
And it had the lady with that. Not all the horror versions. Not all the horror versions. Like the mom has like, the person with like the sleepy ass.
I don't know who you're talking.
Oh, mom's off. I can tell you how this feels. You want to hear the storyline to see if it's
I don't know.
No, I don't care. So it does it. This one. So it was like that new. Did I tell you kind of like a ghost?
I have another viewer. Who's watching?
Why do you talk about books? You didn't want to hear about it. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. If you did.
Oh, no, they're gone.
I think we got. Let me look at the reviews. It's It's an older show.
Yeah.
It has 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb and 81% on Rotten.
Pretty good. Oh, Princess Conroy? Okay. Yeah, she's an American Horror Story and stuff. A lot of seasons of American Horror Story. You are the bestest kitty I've ever seen, Casper. I've never seen a kitty as good as you. Casper, stay off to the side. I don't want you all over my cords. Because you lay on my cords, and then you put your claws out, and I want you clawing up on my cords. You can sit next to me. But I want you tearing up on my shit. You need to finish BoJack if you haven't finished BoJack. I think that I legitimately think that's objectively one of the best shows ever made.
Well, you should watch 60 because it's an HBO show, so it's not like a light watch documentary. As do most HBO shows.
I still think it's just fun. I think about that with like, you think like Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, and I'm like, and he plays Todd in BoJack Horseman. I'm like, that's one of the goofiest characters in BoJack. That's the same guy. Well, like, there's Mr. Peanut Butter starts. I think it might have been season 2 or 3. Mr. Peanut Butter starts PB Livin'. It's like his new, like, whatever, like his, for all their stupid ideas that him and Todd keep having. He starts PB Livin'. And he's talking to Todd. And he goes over and he hands Todd a business card that says Todd Chavez, PB Livin', Executive Vice President of West Coast Productions. And it's a Todd. And Todd reads it, he goes, whoa! Does this mean I control the waves? And I was... what a stupid question. I love that show so much. Princess Carolyn is my favorite character. After the whole series, after everything ends. Oh my god, they're so far behind! They match. I don't think they've ever played this game before. How are they so far back? They're not gonna finish. Let's hit this just right. Nope. How did he miss the hole? That's what she said.
This one has, well, I don't know what digitalspy.com, but it has it's 6 feet under his final episode of that
I mean, that makes sense actually to see like, what shows have the best. You know what? You might Google that. What shows have the best ending, and just watch those shows because you like at least like it's like, agreed upon that those are good endings, and not like Game of Thrones or Lost.
Yeah, the episode, I'm not even going to say what the episode was immediately hailed as the most satisfying creator here in Austin. People say they love it. It's every movie that they watch.
You watched the Stranger Things trailer? That looks absolutely insane. I have hope for that show. I hope they don't ruin it.
See, this one has advertising, so it didn't have that many. Shows over and out with the best people in the universe. Each episode as a whole is solid, but not up to the series best. However, the final 5 minutes was completely astounding, going far beyond anything we previously. So it's like, this one's got like the best. Oh, here, what's the spoiler TV?
What? I type in TV shows with great endings. Number 1 is Sopranos. Number 2, like they have, like this is the things listed on Google. First matches: Lost, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. I'm like, no, like get out of here, get out of here. 6 feet under, The Wire, Friends, MASH. I think I've heard about that about MASH. Mad Men.
Yeah, it's this one. This thing says it's frequently in the top 10.
Twin Peaks. Okay, Twin Peaks. I think I've heard that before. See, I watch people talk about I watch people break down movies and stuff, and like how they have like character arcs and just. I talk about that, the setups and payoffs. Breaking Bad, everything they set up, they paid off. There was not one single like loose end. Like every item, like the ricin, like every single thing that happened had a payoff. Like everything. Cause like Breaking Bad, because the end of Breaking. Like the end of Breaking Bad, I watched that. I was like, this was like they had a checklist after the first season, and they said like, okay, this is what we have to do by the end, because like, it was like it's like I don't know how they did like. That was just like brilliant. I have a viewer who's watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and also, have you seen 6 Feet Under?
Is it Michael C. Hall?
Is it Michael C. Hall?
What is it?
So this is a list that popped up. They're gone. Here's the list of things: the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Star Trek: The Next Generation, The Good Place, The West Wing, Battlestar Galactica, Twin Peaks, Newhart, Cheers, True Blood, The Leftovers, The Shield, Saint Elsewhere, Mad Men, The Office, The Americans, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, MASH, Friends, The Wire, 6 Feet Under.
You can make it through Mad Men and get invested in it. Kind of like a novel. It's not like a TV show. It's almost like you're watching a novel. It takes a long time to get into it.
Because I think Lucas was watching that, and he's watching that show, and he was like, I like it, because I have no idea what's actually happening. Yeah. It takes a while before you start understanding what's actually going on.
It takes a while before you want to. It's like you like it, but you won't sit there and binge watch it. It's kind of like, I kind of like this, but I don't. But I don't know. I kind of made myself watch it, and then I got invested in it. I feel like there's another show on there.
See, that's the thing. I can't trust this list because it has Lost and Game of Thrones on there, and I'm like, those were not good endings.
Oh, now The Good Place. That's actually a good show.
I've heard good things about that. I probably want to watch that because I do like Kristen Bell.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. I don't think it had too many seasons.
You know what? And I'll say this about Kristen Bell, because I think we're talking about like, I don't know, I'm at work. I started talking about like best. The window and across the street. Or, yeah. What? No, I haven't watched that yet. Yes. No, and don't. No, and don't tell me, because I wanna.
You'll probably pick up. That might be enough of what I did for you to be more attentive and realize what I'm talking about. Without knowing that
But like, I think I said something at work before.
Don't Google that show.
Yeah, I will. I said something at work before. I think I was talking to Dylan or something about like what are like would you say are the best like I don't know top Hollywood couples?
Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively.
I would say that. Well, she because that's the thing too. Like to me, she is like very, very traditionally pretty, and he seems more like he's kind of a normal guy. But that makes that seem like a more truly loving relationship to me. And she seems kind of goofy and lighthearted and stuff too. She seems like I don't know. It's like that's the thing. She seems like I don't know, if you just saw her in something, I feel like oh, she's super pretty, she's like really gonna be really stuck-up actress, whatever. But no, she seems super down to earth, and that seems like that's reflected in her relationship. So I think that's a good couple. And yes, I would say Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, because they are hilarious. Because they constantly post like really unflattering pictures of each other on social media. Like they both like.
Or they say they have that running gag like "Happy Birthday," but like Blake will post it, but Ryan Reynolds will like half his face is cut off. He's like a really good picture of her or something.
Well,
they have that running gag.
Well, it was a thing. And one thing he said too, he was like. He's like, I always kind of like said it almost something like I always said it to Blake. I was like, I would die for you and this and this. And then I saw we had our first kid, and I saw that baby, and I knew right then and there I would use my wife as a human shield to protect that baby. And he posted like on social media. He posted that like it's so funny. Because I knew in that moment I would use my wife as a human shield to protect that baby. But like, I was asking like, what other examples? I think those are good examples because they seem just really. They seem like they're having fun being married. Wow, that ended quick. But those couples seem like they have a good time. And I was like, what other like you say like the best like Hollywood couples? And Dylan said Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I'm like, but he cheated on her. It's not a good. Like, there was like a whole there was a whole album about that.
Yeah, and I know that's like the most famous. That's one of the most famous.
Now, a power couple, okay, yeah, but like the best couple, I'm like, I'm not sure about.
Well, I know like I would say I know I said Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. I know Dax Shepard doesn't have the. They just seem like they're the most. Like some of the most down to earth and like
yeah.
couples. Like they openly admit that they struggle with things. Like they just seem more like transparent, actually like normal people.
Hey, I would say that about like yeah. My impression, I'd say that about Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
You know who else?
Yeah. Okay. I would say MGK and Megan Fox. No. Did you hear about her ex-husband and the shade he threw at her? Brian Austin Green. I know him. No, Snowman, you blew this. Oh man. I shouldn't have gone that way. I should have. No! I know Brian Austin Green because he was in the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. And I actually liked that show, and he had maybe one of my favorite scenes in any. The way that character played out, and something that there's a thing that character did, and something happened to that character was maybe one of my favorite things ever in any sort of media. It was one of the things that was stuck with me forever. Was the Sarah Connor Chronicles and Brian Austin Green. But Megan Fox posted a picture of her and Machine Gun Kelly, and she said, "Love of my life," and she's holding on to whatever. And Brian Austin Green posted a picture of him and their kids, and he said, "The loves of my life." I was like, because I don't know, they had like 2 or 3 kids or whatever together. And I was like, dang, dude. I gotta go to the bathroom. So I was like, that was a good, pretty nasty burn. But yeah, I was another couple I would have said if they hadn't broken up. I would have said maybe Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Do what? Did he? I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. But did like, well, because I don't.
Like they broke up, but I think they were still like on decent terms.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. So that's why I think it's more because you hear all this like trashy.
Because Jennifer Gardner is she's a really good person. Like, she seems really down to earth and like a normal person.
But those are the only 2 I think of. Can you think of anything else? I think of Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell.
Yeah, I don't know because they're different reasons. Like Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard aren't perfect, but they're so open about like that they're not perfect, that they see normal. And they work through their issues. It seems like
because like, yeah, because you see her like you see her like on the Ellen show and stuff like that, and she seems like really like she seems super funny, and just her personality.
Did you watch that video? Where
yeah.
She's like, and I could just sense that a spot was near.
See, she seems like really weird and quirky, but not like in a Gwyneth Paltrow, like this person's a psycho kind of way. Like more, but it's in a much more like charming way. I mean, you ever watch anything about her, like her brand of product called Goop?
Yeah, she has vagina candles.
Okay, there was one of her like one of her bubble bath something, or soaps or body lotion or something like that. One of the ingredients listed on the label is love. Like Like,
it's just ridiculous. It shouldn't exist. I mean, forget. It's. That's red flag number 1.
You know what? I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google best Hollywood couples and see what pops up.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are the top 3 if they're in town.
Blake Lively, Goldie Hawn, hasn't she been married? Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
I guess that's legit. I don't count old people because I don't keep up with them.
Harrison.
I can see Tim. You don't hear anything about Tim McGraw and Faith Hill at all, so that's probably legit.
I know Tom Hanks has been with his wife for a long time too, right?
Yeah, they seem pretty normal. Yeah, they were 2 adults.
Yeah, the picture on this article is John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Yeah. They seem pretty normal too.
I know you don't like Tom Cruise. Did you ever see Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That movie's freaking awesome.
You don't like Emily Blunt.
Say what you want about Tom Cruise. He did some really cool movies. I think a good couple is Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. That's a good couple.
He's talking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye. There's Kanye got a little bit. Kanye is always a little bit.
Coolest thing. Okay, one thing about Kanye that made me like him. I don't know, maybe like him, but I was like, you know what? That was kind of cool. I respect that. Was he went to a Starbucks or something, and everybody, dang it! Oh, that was bad.
Go around the edge. You don't want to suck because you suck. I don't know how you did that.
me neither. I'm kind of drunk right now. Kanye was at a Starbucks or something, and everybody was like looking at him. Everyone was like realized like, oh, like holy crap, that's Kanye. And he goes, okay, let's get this over with. And he stood on top of he got up in front of everybody and stood on top of a table. He goes, everybody get a selfie. And everybody turned and took selfies with Kanye in the background. I was like, you know what? I respect that. You know what? Because everybody sees me like, you know what? Just some people will ask me whatever. Because if one person asks, everybody's gonna want a selfie. And everybody's looking. Everybody recognizes that. You know what? Fine. And he said, everybody go ahead. And I was like, you know what? I kind of respect that in a way, because everybody sees, everybody knows. So everybody there got a picture with Kanye.
Sure. I don't know. Kanye, did we make it? No. So I googled best Hollywood couples, and it took 43 famous celebrity couples who still make us believe in love. Now, granted, this was posted August 2021. Harrison Ford is on. Harrison Ford and number 1, number 2, Beyonce, Jay-Z.
I'm on that same list.
Okay, you see number 6, Will Smith and.
Hasn't that been like for years? They've been like super open, like yeah, we sleep around. I mean, for like decades.
Yeah, but Naleus and NaginiSlayer. That, no. I didn't know Naleus was a copyright artist.
You know what? Okay, so wait, I like this article because
How are they above Dax?
because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are number 4, and what Dax and Kristen Bell are number 6. Okay, this is a pretty solid. I feel like this is or 8. Sorry. I feel like this is a respectable list to have those two so high. Well, Kevin Bacon and this person have been married for 31 years, so that's good.
LeBron James and his wife. You don't even know who his wife is. So.
The Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell thing, yeah, I remember that now because they've been married for 40 years, so they're. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are.
I just got to that one.
Seriously?
That's so sweet.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, they should be up there. No one remembers about them because they don't really act anymore. Which is part of why they should. Oh, Victoria and David Beckham.
Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker have been married for a really long time.
Yes, they have. Christy Teigen and John Legend, like that's. Christy's hilarious.
Emily Blunt, John Krasinski.
Whoa. How are they above Emily Blunt and John Krasinski is what I want to know. Okay, Alicia Keys and then. Oh yeah, Kelly Ripa.
Oh, Tom Brady's on the list. You won't like that.
Oh God, I vomited. What is he doing?
I actually do know a funny because Seth Rogen's on this list. I do know. Well, Denzel's been watching. Denzel was married for 40 years. Denzel's on the list. He's been married. Him and his wife have been married for 40 years. Yes, I assume that's a pretty good relationship. Because you don't hear anything about Denzel Washington having marriage problems or anything. Yeah, you don't hear much about him like in general. I don't feel like. No! No! Now I'm sucking, but oh my god! I can't believe that was on stream. I was on the slide and I was rolling and I fell off. I didn't make it over the finish line. I would have won.
Okay, here's a different one. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This is all of it. Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I like this list. If you choose number 4, Dax Shepard and Crystal Brown. Like this list, go down one.
Though I did like the story of Seth Rogen and how he proposed to his now wife, because he said, "I have a viewer who's watching."
It has Ellen. Delete. Yeah, and then Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are number 7. This is a much better list.
Well.
Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. is Nick Offerman and Megan.
But no, Seth Rogen's story, one of the late shows. He got the ring. He was gonna.
Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez.
He was gonna but Seth Rogen was gonna propose to his girlfriend, and he was like, okay, I just gotta do it as soon as I get home. He had a ring. He's like, I'm gonna propose to her as soon as I get home. He's like, I'm gonna mess it up. If I try to wait for the right moment, I'm gonna mess something up. I just gotta do it because my nerves. I gotta go propose to her. So he got his ring home, and he went to propose to her, and she was in the closet topless, changing clothes, and he proposed to her. And he goes, yeah, her dad was kind of pissed about that, but he found out how I proposed.
I feel like that's something though, that's just like, no one has to know.
But I don't know if you had, how romantic, how did you do it? So she was like, changing. Like, it's... I don't know, those are the two I think of, but like Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell and Blake Lively. My God, Blake, I don't know, all the stuff with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds seems so hilarious. You know, like, if I was married, I would want that. I would want the constant ripping on each other. Just good-spirited, just like constant, but just like, you know. Well, the couple I didn't see on any of the list was Donald Faison and Zach Braff.
Oh yeah, they are true love. I am doing really bad. Don't look at me. Don't look at me, Jack, I'm hideous. You know how bad I'm doing?
I look hideous.
Hideous. You see how far back I am?
Yeah, well, two of your teammates, me and one other, finished first and second, so. Oh, it says on here, Rogen proposed to Miller while she was changing her outfit in her closet. She says that on the list, but he told that story like on the Late Show, and she said she was topless.
How much longer do you want to play?
Oh, I don't know.
You need to get a different game to play too.
They need to change this dang season.
I know, yeah, we need new stuff.
I mean, a new level up, new rank up rewards or something, because all we're doing is getting like tons of kudos and crowns now.
Yeah. What game can we play on the rest of the other season if Tracy doesn't play?
I don't know.
What games do you have that on?
I don't know.
They're drunken answers. Are you gonna play Bug Snacks? If I beat Bug Snacks and I tell you, oh my gosh, that was the best ending I've ever played in my entire life.
Well, I'm not sure if it's like a good ending. I just know I think there's a really weird, dark.
What if I tell you that was the most disturbing game I've ever played that involved taking pictures of food bugs?
I don't know. I'm gonna play Bug Snacks, but
then I will text you the ending as soon as I can. And then after I text you the ending and I make sure you read it, then I'll say spoiler.
Well, we can play A Way Out, and we can play the other game.
It Takes Two?
Yeah.
I have to download the app.
We still need. What do I need to send you something?
I think you can download the friend pass.
Okay, maybe. We can still play. You can still finish A Way Out. Because in A Way Out, we were gonna rob that bank or rob that store to get money to go to Mexico to get guns to kill Harvey. That's where we were in the story. Harvey's the guy that betrayed both of us. We went to the trailer park and we met our family and we run a little swing together and we looked at each other and we said, "What the hell are you doing?" And that was really funny.
there was a boat and water
No. We had to go down the river at one point. Because we chased the river from the cops or whatever, and we crashed the car into the river, but then we ended up finding a boat and go down the river. We had the rapids and stuff. But that's one we could finish. You could play Genshin Impact if you level the hell up.
I got so mad. I was playing that game the other day. I think it was last week. I was doing this mission, and I get all the way there, it says way out, and like, DFE, and it says recommended level 10, and I'm like, shit. So I died immediately. And I was like so mad, because it took me forever to get there, that I just like tripped it. Horrible dad. Like that guy. You should make Ratchet and Clank 2-player. I could be ribbon.
That's a female Lombax. She was in the first trailer. Don't talk to me like I don't know what games are.
Oh, shoot. You don't have this one.
Rebecca, I know more about video games than anybody I've ever encountered in my life.
I know.
Have I played all the games I know everything about? Absolutely not. But I know so much.
If you know so much, how does it end?
I don't do story spoilers. I know more behind the scenes stuff. Well, because I see people that have these YouTube channels, and like they're talking about games, and they're like, they're like, this company hasn't announced the game in like 5 or 6, like 7 years. They're way overdue for an announcement on a game. And it's like, it's gonna happen next month. I know it is. It has to. And I'm like, that company has been working on 3 or 4 games and they've all gotten canceled. There's no way they're ready for another game yet. And sure enough, like 2 years later, they finally announced a new game. But these people are talking, people who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers were talking about these games. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. That company, like, they're working on this, and they're working on this, and they're working on this, and they got canceled. And so, all that work they were doing, so they haven't been working on a new game for 7 years. They've been working on a new game for like 2 years. And like, I'm right. And the Guardians of the Galaxy thing came out, and I was like, wow, this big surprise. Like, yeah, no one saw this coming. I was like, wait, was it just me? Because I knew they were working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game like 5 years ago. Like, you guys didn't know this? Like, I was talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, the game with the girl with the red hair and the robot dinosaurs. I knew the story of that game like 3 years before it was announced. I knew everything about that game like way before it was first announced. So I see all these big publications are like, oh, this big surprise of the show and this, and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I knew about this. Like, how did I know about this?
So Kingdom Hearts, if it took them that long to make Kingdom Hearts 3, how long is it gonna take them to release Kingdom Hearts?
The fact that they've already announced Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm not sure, because it was a long time before they announced Kingdom Hearts 3. They announced Kingdom Hearts. When did they announce Kingdom Hearts 3? 2013?
I want to play it. I didn't get Kingdom Hearts 3. I think I was pretty close. I just wanted trying to get all the trophies. Kingdom Hearts 3, the Pirates of the Caribbean levels were fun. You're just like driving the ship and you go to the different islands and you can swim. Oh my god. You can swim in the water. Sorry guys, I was out real quick.
Well, I'm out now too, so we're not gonna make it. You want to quit after this then? I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch YouTube.
Might play Bug Snacks.
Well, I follow other games. I go on the other websites too, and they'll post an article saying so-and-so game made by this company announced for PlayStation 4 and PC. And like, announced? I knew about that game like 3 years ago. It's like, but it's like a random indie game made by 3 people. I'm like, I already knew about that. Like, it didn't get announced because it's been like everyone's known about this. Like, I don't know. I pride myself on knowing a lot about games. I feel like it's pretty standard length of time for a platinum. I'm buying this motherboard costume. Oh, you don't have it, do you?
What?
Regular items. That's under. I have a costume that's top and bottom. Did you hear that meow? He carried his really big toy up from the bed down next to me. He's got this really big kicker toy. It's huge. I just saw him drop it. So when he meows, first time I ever heard him meow like that, I heard like, oh, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he had something. He had a toy in his mouth. He was bringing it to me. He brought his really big. He wants to play. You could play Monster Hunter World. Try to play Monster Hunter World. But we can play that one together because you gotta make your little cat companion. Did you make your Palico? Well, because I made a character. I made my first character and I was playing the game and stuff like that, and I had my Palico companion and I named it Blackie after Blackie, and then Blackie died. So I still have that save file. I don't play with that one anymore, but I have a save file with my black Palico that died. Or I'll keep that save file in remembrance of that cat. But I made a new character. But we can play that game together. That game takes like 600 hours to beat, but it has like 2 platinum trophies. That's the only game I know of that has like 2 platinum trophies. What?
I saw a hot dog one.
Okay, well I'll let you go.